I wasn't expecting a kill, just gave the MiGs something to keep them busy.
Roger. Victor 2, Victor 3, we're bugging out. Victor 4, staying tight.
Let's pull out 2 and go back to the F-35. This plane is a complicated piece of machinery, and to help diagnosing all the problems it might have, Lockheed has introduced ALICE, Autonomic Logistics Information System. It's supposed to help with detecting minor and critical faults both in flight and during maintenance. It runs on Windows Server.
Spike, 113. Gargoyle 1, check mission time plan. What is your ETA to the next waypoint?
Oh, sod off. Anyway, ALICE is a lazy bitch. It is supposed to detect 98% of both critical and non-critical defects, but in 2013 it could only do about 75%, 81% a year later.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 4. Target is at bearing 180. Confirm waypoint, Starburst.
Also, like any warning system, ALICE sometimes generates false alarms. The mean time between minor, non-mission critical false alarms is supposed to be 50 hours. In reality, a false flag is raised every 30 minutes. Or rather, it used to be every 30 minutes as of May 2013. As of May 2014, the mean time between false alarms has reached 15 minutes. Couple that with the minor increase in accuracy and it starts to look like the system was readjusted to make more frequent guesses. This system is also supposed to tell ground crews what replacement parts are required for repairs. Only sometimes it tells you to bring the wrong parts. The most innocent incidents were the ones when it told people to replace one tire on the landing gear instead of another. Thanks to ALICE being about as accurate as blindly throwing a dart at the plane's blueprint, maintenance procedures also involve checking and testing the fault detection system itself, in addition to the plane. This massively inflates maintenance times. In fact, putting all the repair times figures together, it turns out an F-35 on average can fly only once every 5.5 days. At least it doesn't spontaneously combust. Except for the times when it does, like in 2014 when the engine of an F-35A exploded on takeoff. And it turned out the engine had rubbing and heat issues, which were another reason the Lightnings were not allowed to fly too fast.
Tortoise 1, we need an engagement report.
Force here significantly weakened. Armor's dead. We're cleaning up the trailers now.
Roger, Tortoise. Medevac is on its way.
So the Air Force realized they had to replace some of the engines. The F-35A was supposedly designed so that it allowed its engine to be replaced in 2 hours. When the Air Force actually attempted that, their average time for the procedure was 52 hours. But let's face it, those were unplanned repairs, that wasn't some scheduled maintenance. Surely that must go much better.
Gargoyle 1, you are overdue at waypoint. Expedite, please. Rapier flight, we show you at waypoint 4. Copy, waypoint, Starburst.
Right, the required mean time for scheduled work on an F-35B we have here is 4.5 hours. Real-life mean time, a stable 15 hours. The F-35A was supposed to go through faster, in 4 hours.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 5. Target is at bearing 225. Roger.
It actually took them 12 hours as of August 2013, and 15 hours a year later. I wonder if they have ALICE to thank for that.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 6. Target is at bearing 345. Gargoyle copies nav data. Rapier 1, Marshal at Blue Tail, Angels 1.5. Roger, Cerberus. 8 base, -5. Copy that, Rapier 1. Stand by. Gargoyle, commence approach. Contact tower. Gargoyle flight. Cleared on final. Switching tower. Rap 1, state. Rap 1 is base -2. Rap 4, no radio. Rap 1, copy. Maintain visual on Rap 4. Rap 1, Guard 2. Thanks for keeping the bogies off our high side back there. Gargoyle, there's nothing this 22 can't do. Tower, Gargoyle checking in. Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound. Report 3 miles with the gear.
Over speed.
Also, in the SF2 Harrier videos, I said that vertical takeoff puts a lot of strain on the engines and they need to be replaced frequently and sent for checkups. The same applies to the F-35B.
Gargoyle 1, check gear. Tower, Gargoyle. 3 down and locked. Gargoyle, clear to land runway 36. Winds light and variable.
Yes, the engine for this plane comes in a special transport container, and they are still working on those to actually protect the engine in case someone drops it. To take the engine out of the container on a carrier, they need to employ a 20,000-pound class forklift, that's 9 metric tons. The problem is that this huge fuck-off forklift must be present on the flight deck at all times during flight ops, because that's what they use for moving damaged planes in case shit happens. So, if you are planning on quickly swapping out a few engines while other planes are flying, you need to get the forklift down in advance, unpack all the units you need, load them onto hangar deck transportation, and send the forklift back up. Anyway, we've landed, and we haven't exploded yet for some reason. But perhaps, just maybe, Lockmart should not have bought those blueprints from Russians. The highlights of today's mission start with 2 eating 2 missiles in a non-erotic fashion. There he starts his evasion, but it doesn't help. However, 2 is miraculously unharmed. I don't even know if it's possible to lose a wingman here. And now we'll see the Rapier flight, eating a missile. This stealth thing isn't working out. Anyway, bombing. Look at the way our SDB pops out of the bay. That doesn't look very bomb-like. Yes, fuck that guy in particular. Why are we still here? Oh yes, the drop tank. I hope it actually falls, it doesn't keep flying. From this angle, it's kinda like a Yak-41 melted by the sun. And that was the last one. Let's move on to the brief air combat section and look at that AMRAAM launch. In the first attempt at this mission I had a perfect camera angle for an off-bore site AMRAAM launch, but it would have taken me ages to re-encode the video to put it here. Burn, you bastard. You cost me 30 minutes of footage. Oh right, there is a missile heading for 2. A close one. Now watch this. This answers the question of whether or not I can collide with my own missiles. I wish it'd stop insisting I want to kill that Sam. The X-35 also counted towards unlocking this.
The enemy is reduced to just the garrison at their main airbase. Our forces are now going for the enemy's jugular. Their base at Ad Baraf. Stragglers around the base will undoubtedly put up tough resistance. We've also received reports of unknown aircraft in the area. Use extreme caution.
Alrighty then, Scenario 5 has only one stage and only 2 missions. Clearing either brings an end to the war. Which one will you choose? There is this close air support mission where I'll have to pluck a few tanks and helicopters out of a field of SAMs. I'll have to use the F-22 to avoid dying because this mission is very much like the one we've just finished and it wants you dead. Or there is this intercept mission against a flight of mysterious enemy fighters. Doesn't sound too bad, but we'll have to start on a carrier, which limits our plane choice. Picking an F-35 for this mission would be amusing because then I'll have to land vertically on the carrier, since there is no hook on the F-35. Will it be A or B next time?